When does it become the Trump economy?
It partially is right now. I think the good parts are the Trump economy and the bad parts are the Biden economy.
I often marvel at the things Republicans ignore. The parody of that. Like, how often does it happen that Donald Trump says something that very well could be an SNL bit? Like, it would be it wouldn't be believed. Like, this wouldn't be funny on an SNL thing because it would be so ridiculous that it's not even within the realm of possibility. And then Donald Trump says the thing that's too outrageous to even conceive of. And then Republicans gobble it up. They love it. They run away with the thing. For him to say the thing that he said that we just ran as the coming up clip, and I really mean this, I think the good parts are the Trump economy and the bad parts are the Biden economy. He said that, the president of the United States of America, a man who of all the topics he is obsessed on for 5 decades, it's been the economy, right? Because he's an economic genius. No, nobody knows more than him. He's got words. He's got the best words. And he also acts like he's got a stranglehold on economics. Yet, he let those words fall out of his fat face. Those words. That all the good parts are the Trump economy and all the bad parts are the Biden economy. Watch this in a fuller context than maybe you've seen online. I'm going to try to start doing this where I give a little bit longer clip just to give you a greater understanding of the more fulsome context that was given or that in the clip. So anyway, here we go. Watch this, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
But just staying on this idea of the economy, on the eve of your inauguration, the stock market spiked. You called it the Trump effect.
It spiked because I was elected president. Well, it spiked because of anybody else. It spiked because they see what I'm going to do. They know what I'm going to do with the tariffs and everything else. And I think it's actually working out better than we anticipated. Did you see oil prices? Did you see gasoline is now below, in many cases, in many states, below $2 a gallon, $1.98, $1.99, $1.97?
Well, my question, sir, is when the stock market spiked, you said this is the Trump effect. When the numbers weren't so good earlier this week, you said it's the Biden effect. Are you only taking ownership of the good numbers and not the bad numbers?
Well, I think he did a lot of very bad things, and despite some of the bad things, we're overcoming them. But he was bad on the border. He was bad on the economy. We had the worst inflation in the history of our country. Look, Biden gave us the worst inflation in the history of our country. People, it didn't matter what they made because they were losing their shirt because of costs. Now take a look at what happened. Oil is down, gasoline is down, groceries are down, eggs. You were the one that asked me. You asked me about eggs. It was the first week. I didn't even know anything about what were you talking about. Egg prices were so high you couldn't buy eggs. They didn't have any eggs. And they said Easter is going to be a disaster. Well, we had Easter at the White House, and we had thousands of eggs, and they were down 87%.
Yeah, a lot of that, of course, spike was because of bird flu. But when does it become the Trump economy?
Why do you say that?
Well, tell me,
we had the same bird flu as he had.
When does it become the Trump economy?
It partially is right now, and I really mean this. I think the good parts are the Trump economy, and the bad parts are the Biden economy.
So there are a couple takeaways here. One, Donald Trump, the guy who's the brilliant mind, the genius, nobody knows better than me, only I can fix it, that guy is saying, I didn't even know, what's he say? Groceries are down, eggs. You were the last one. You were the one that asked me. You asked me about eggs. It was the first week. I didn't even know anything about what you were talking about. Even though he had campaigned on it for month and month and month and month and month upon month. But he had been talking about it, but I didn't even know anything about that. What? Eggs? This bold genius, this innovator of the American economy, he didn't know anything about it. And then also, of course, when does it become the Trump economy? It partially is right now, he says, like an abject idiot who is free from any ability to be embarrassed or humiliated by himself. It partially is right now. I really mean this, he says. So you can't say he's joking. I really mean this. I think the good parts are the Trump economy and the bad parts are the Biden economy. Can you imagine what would have been the reaction if a Democrat had said that? If Joe Biden or Barack Obama had said, look, in Barack Obama's case, look, all of this bad stuff that's happening, that's because of George W. Bush. And all of the good stuff that you see happening, that's Barack Obama. They would have laughed us out of existence. And they would have been right to do so. But that's not the case now. The cult sees this as some formidable logic knot, just an untangleable, oh yeah, he owned the libs with this one. Wow. It really is. It is an upside down, topsy-turvy nightmare in the United States right now. I get a lot of emails. I listen to a lot of voicemails and comments from people outside the United States, what we would call foreigners, because they're not here, but they're not foreigners when they're commenting. They're just living in a different country. And they are beside themselves, some with glee, a little schadenfreude because of all the harm that the United States has provided the globe. But others are very alarmed, maybe a little bemused, but also very alarmed at what is taking place because largely still, for now, the United States is kind of the center of the universe relative to the global economy. Maybe not for long. We are ceding that power and that authority to other nations, the EU, China, and it'll be because of Republicans that we no longer have the station or the respect, if you want to look at it that way, on a global stage. And it's because Donald Trump is a dumb shit. The dumb shittiest of all the dumb shits who ever dumb shit is Donald Trump. What do you think? Great little turn of phrase to end the video. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Please consider supporting this work right here on YouTube. You can click the join button below for $1.99. Help me produce this content. You can also go to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. I love and appreciate you very much. I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine and take care of one another.